Welcome to Raven on the Rock, Denver's way to expose unique talent and original music from local artists. With your host, Rockin' Raven. You're going to enjoy what you are about to hear on Raven on the Rock. Brought to you by Rockin' Raven Productions and the Scoop 303.
Welcome to Raven on the Rock. I'm in the studio today with Mr. Dave Freshman. Hello, Dave.
Hi, guys.
I am so glad you made it, but I am so sorry about your wife, Michelle. She was in a car accident and a week ago, you said?
Yes.
And was in the emergency room right before Dave came to the show, and I feel so bad. You really could have called and canceled.
It's not my proclivity to do that usually, but I would have if I had to. Thank you for understanding.
Well, thank you for coming, and I hope, Michelle, if you're listening, you feel better really soon. So I'm really excited because Dave brought his guitar with, and we have it plugged into the amp, and we're going to have some fun today. Huh? We got to get Dave a little closer to that mic, though.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
I mean, I've turned you up all the way, so.
Ah.
If you can't hear yourself, neither can anybody else.
There I am.
So the first song we're going to play today, Dave, we're going to talk about a lot of things today, but I'm going to play a song first. And the first song we're going to play is Will You Still Love Me? Did you write this one?
This song, the full name of the song is Will You Still Love Me If My Carburetor is Busted? It's sort of, the lyrics were written by a very dear friend of mine named Mr. Bill Scher.
Yeah.
And Bill is a very dear friend of many of our bands, Tough Grooves, Shovis and the Roustabouts, the Pharaohs, a lot of us. Bill writes wonderful poems. So what he did is he sent me a poem with these lyrics basically as a metaphor for love based on like a car situation. Now, Bill loves cars, and he's like a genius with cars. That being said, he sent me these lyrics, and he said, here, see what you can do with this. It just so happened that I had a song that dovetailed very nicely with his lyrics. I called in a very good friend of mine, Danny Vigil. Danny is a beautiful singer and works with a lot of us. Dreamboat Annie guys, Sonny and Scott and those guys and myself. And I asked Danny to please sing on the song. We did it in my home studio. And Danny also plays saxophone, so we were talking about it, and I said, why don't we do two versions? Let's do one version with the sax solo and the other one with a guitar solo. The guitar solo I've kept in my sort of certain special vaults.
Yeah.
But the one that we're going to hear here has Danny's sax on it, and it has a very memorable sax line that he came up with. Again, the song is called Will You Still Love Me When My Carburetor is Busted? And Bill is actually selling copies of this at many of the car shows around Colorado as we speak.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very cool. So you got to look up a car show. We'll see if I can find some and post it on the website where you can go find Danny and his CD. Here is Will You Still Love Me If When?
Will you still love me when my carburetor is busted?
Okay, here we go.
Once upon a time, you were so good to me. You were so proud, you wanted everyone to see. Then I was a child, Would you let the other fella repossess me just because what's under my hood isn't you? It's been a while since you took me for a spin. Or touch me like the way you used to way back then. And I would shine like a brand new penny. Will you still love me when my carburetor's busted? When my radiator springs a leak or two? Would you let the other fella repossess me just because what's under my hood isn't new? When I get old and rusty, still love me. When I get old and dusty, still love me. When I am old and rusty, will I still shine? Will I still shine? Will you still love me, baby? Will you still love me, baby? Will you still love me, baby? When I get old and rusty,
And we're back. So, Dave and I were talking about this song and how he was telling me how it's kind of like, how did you explain it?
Well, it's sort of like a
Bill said that,
it's like a metaphor. Bill loves cars. Okay,
Right.
he builds cars. He's like a genius with them. And what he does is come up with these great poems. This poem happened to be about a car that's had its prime many years ago. Used to be maybe a hot Mustang or a Camaro, GTO, and it's no longer bright and shiny. And he's asking, will you still love me, if my carburetor's busted? If I spring a leak?
and I said, I still love Emma. And those of you who know me know who Emma is. She's my wonderful '65 Mustang. Yeah, so I can relate to that song.
Thank you.
And you know, I think a lot of people can relate to that song, especially as we grow older. You know, if you're in love, doesn't matter.
That's actually the premise of the song. Is it's about love, and as we all get older in life and go through trials and tribulations, the true question to ask is, are you with the person that still makes you happy?
Right.
And it's not about riches, it's not about looks, it's not about any of those things that are superficial or artifice. It's about the true common denominator of love, and that's what that song is truly about.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people that because, you know, even though I'm only 27, a lot of us older people, it doesn't matter. You get past that, and it's about the person, and when you fall in love with somebody at this age, you know.
You know, I'll give you a little background story on myself. I was married for many, many years, 24, and then that ended. But I ended up meeting my wife, Michelle, her nickname is Mish, online almost 11 years ago, and we've been married almost 9 years. So again, it was like, God, how am I going to start this whole dating process? And you know, what do you mean I go online? This is a guy who used to give his girlfriends ID bracelets in 5th and 6th grade back in the 60s. That goes back a ways.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's not like it used to be, is it?
No.
Yeah, I tried that Match.com thing once. It didn't work out very well.
No, it's not the best thing.
I actually met a doctor. My sister is the one, after my divorce, my sister's the one that signed me up, and I met a doctor who, after a month of knowing him, bought the house next door to me without me knowing, and then threw me down the stairs. So I'm not all about online dating, you know.
Yeah.
So just be careful out there, ladies.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you men can take care of yourself, but us ladies, you know, we got to watch out.
Much truth in that.
So I'm going to have a commercial, but when we come back, Dave is going to play something live for us. What are you going to play for us, Dave?
This is one of the new songs I've written. This is a very special song. I wrote it last week, and it's called I Miss You, My Friend. It's about that missing of people that we love dearly, family, friends, animal children, fur babies. So I'm going to share that with y'all.
Okay, and Dave's not going to put this one on a CD, though, right?
No.
This is something very personal to you.
Yeah, this is a special song.
Okay, so we will be right back with Dave Freshman. Pepperdine's integrated approach to business solutions offers you access to an array of products and services through decades of experience, state-of-the-art production processes, as well as inspired technological innovation. Whether your business or organization requires printed marketing materials, promotional ads, specialty items, commercial signage, stamps, or simply functional internal forms, their dedicated staff will provide the level of personal service and support your project deserves. Pepperdine's is located at 790 Umatilla Street, Denver, Colorado, 80204, or call 303-595-3663.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just a commercial, Dave. We're back already. So do you need to move that mic a little bit before we...
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay.
All right, let me turn your guitar up. And what's the name of this song again?
I Miss You, My Friend.
Okay, here's Dave Freshman live with I Miss You, My Friend.
Sometimes I wonder where you are. We walk the miles had so many stars. Shared time so sweet, flow so hard. Time passes now, you are so far. Can I travel there, see you once more? I know we'll see each other one day for sure. I missed you, my friend. Long to see you again. I hope you are okay through sun and rain, joy and pain. You made me smile. Yes, you made me smile. We shared our lives through thick and thin, when searching for our dreams, and then found some, lost some, though never lost our brotherly love. You showed me strength, I showed you love. We climbed many mountains, all the same. You showed me strength, I showed you love, all the same. I missed you, my friend. Long to see you again. I hope you are okay through sun and rain, joy and pain. You made me smile. I miss you, my friend. Hope to see you again. I miss you, my friend. I'd love to see you again. I miss you, my friend. Hope to see you again.
That was awesome.
Thank you very much.
And you know, with all the people in my life that I've lost and all the pets that I've lost, I was picturing my son's little water dragon, because she used to like look at the cage and like, she looks like the little Geico, you know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
she would turn her head, and I don't know why when you were singing that, I pictured Y-Coops, you know, looking at me.
Well, then I did my job.
You did your job.
Thank you very much, Raven. Yeah, that song came to me. There's been a lot of turbulence in the last few months, year, whatever, so, and we all deal with it in life. This is a song that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I finally discovered the courage in me to put it down.
Good. Well, I'm glad you did. It's beautiful. You know, I was telling Michael Hornbuckle last week that, you know, your songs, they might not mean too much to you. They might just come to you for some reason, but that song is going to touch one person's life, and it's just so worth it.
That's
you know?
a beautiful compliment. Thank you, dear.
You know, I mean, and I have a lot of songs that, you know, just really, they're in my car. They make me feel good when I'm driving, you know, and they cheer me up. And
Yeah.
and these Denver musicians, including yourself, are just amazing. And
Thank
I
you.
want you to be heard all over the world.
Well, thank you. As I say, I do have on my Facebook page, I'm under David Freshman. Send me a friend request. I have a SoundCloud account that has many of these songs, and I'd be happy to share them with any of you. They are available for download. The CD will be coming out later, and I'll talk more about that later in the show.
Cool. I just found out yesterday I have a cloud, and I didn't even know it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I have to set that up. Yeah, because I was talking to the owner of VRDO. He's another Raven. And we were talking yesterday, and I don't even know how we got on the subject. And I went there, and I guess I had to go there to download some music from Russia, from a band in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I had to set up an account, and I didn't even know it. So I'm all excited.
Yeah, SoundCloud is actually based out of the UK.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's based out of the UK. I think it costs £29 or something like that per year, which is it's about $33,
Yeah.
something like that. But what it does is it allows you to upload 2 hours plus of music, and you can share it with whoever. The thing you have to be careful about is you can do covers, but you have to make them your own. I mean, you can't sit there and do someone else's music and have it sound so stone cold like the original.
Right.
They will allow you some artistic liberties in that content. But most of us use SoundCloud for original material. You know, most of
Very
the women
cool.
and men I know. Yeah, I have friends all over the world that we trade ideas with and stuff. So yeah, it's
I
cool.
actually, in a couple months, I'm going to have a spot on my Wednesday show.
Really?
Yes, because I was inspired by Fujita Scale. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're awesome. And they did a cover of Bob Dylan's Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Oh yeah.
And you knew what song it was, but it was just so not.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just so awesome. And I want bands, because I know they're so talented out there, I want them to do that. I want them to take a cover. My original idea was to have a high school band
Mm-hmm.
do it, and I was going to have a contest. But, you know, I'm thinking, I'm just going to play them on my Wednesday show. I'm going to have a spot. You take a cover song, you make it your own, and that's what the segment's going to be called, Make It Your Own.
Oh, I love it. That's
And-
a great idea.
Yeah, and I'm going to have them upload them to me, and I will play one every Wednesday.
Well, we, in Tough Grooves, we have one song that we just recently added to our set list. It's an old song by the Spencer Davis Group called Gimme Some Lovin'.
Yeah.
And we just put it on to our set list. But we redesigned it, refurbished it, retooled it, whatever you want to call.
Yeah.
So now it sounds sort of like a cross between Gimme Some Lovin' and Fever by Etta James.
Yeah.
So it's really sexy
Wow.
and sultry. Yeah, this is one of the new songs that Tough Grooves does. And so I can tell you guys a little bit more about that. But a lot of the bands do that these days. They'll take something and they'll change the keys. They'll rearrange stuff. I mean, there's some fantastic musicians in this community.
Right.
And they know what they're doing.
Exactly.
So,
and I
yeah.
think you need to know what you're doing to be able to do that.
Yeah. You know, you don't want to go too far. You got to remember, when you're taking a cover song, you're competing with people's memories and their emotions of that song. So you
Right.
have to keep many of the same signature parts in, signature lines. You can't take too many liberties, but you can do a lot of stuff. You can change tempos. You can rearrange chords instead of majors to minors to major sevenths. There's a million things you can do to make it your own flavor and own sound. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And, you know, while we have a little time left, before I play some Kate LaRue, you're talking about majors and minors. Tell me about your teaching. You're a teacher.
I'm a guitar teacher and a bass teacher. I've been teaching guitar for probably about 38, 39 years. I've been playing guitar for almost 47. Bass I've been teaching for probably 30 plus years. And what I do is I always set up a foundation with music theory, pretty
Mhm.
much, so that people understand what they're doing.
Right.
Some people don't want to know that stuff. They just know how to put their fingers in a certain spot and play some
Right.
chords, and that's fine. But usually my goal is to try and get people to understand the methodology behind it, so they can ultimately write their own songs and become creative forces in this world too.
Right.
That's what my goal is. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, after the show, talk about that and collaborate a little, because I have a couple of brainstorms too.
Oh, sweet. I love it.
So, you said you started playing guitar in 1968,
Yes. Hmm.
and in 1971 you started writing.
I started writing songs, yeah. My band back then was a band called Destiny. It consisted of a number of different folks. Dave Lichtenfeld came in later in the years, but Bruce Heller, the late Daniel Schweitzer, my girlfriend at the time, Vicki Chow, Stephen Tigerman, Bob Helm, a number of different people sort of circulated through the Destiny band, and that band lasted for 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long time. We even went to the studio, a place called Producers Workshop in 1974, and did some tracks.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we've been doing it a long time, but I started writing songs because I was influenced very much by Pete Townsend of The Who,
Uh-huh.
and John Fogerty and Jimmy Page, and a lot of these guys, David Gilmour, and I realized, once you have a foundation with, for instance, blues kind of patterns and
Right.
pop, I'm a big fan of British sound,
Yeah.
I started realizing just what you could do with this stuff. And I thought, well, these guys are doing it. I see how to do it. I'm going to try it myself.
There you go.
And I've never stopped.
Good. Because you only fail if you don't try.
Exactly right.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. And I try everything, so I never fail. So, you said, where did you were from LA
Mm-hmm.
and you moved to Denver.
Yeah.
When did you move to Denver?
I moved to Denver in 1994 of March. My ex-wife and I lived in Northridge, California, in an area called Porter Ranch. January 17th, 1994 was the Northridge earthquake, and our home was in Porter Ranch, and it was hit 100%. We were about a mile and a half, 2 miles or so from the epicenter. So our house was wiped out pretty much.
Nobody was hurt.
No, thank God. We did have insurance. We got it fixed up. We rented it out because so many people had been displaced.
Right.
My ex-wife wanted to move to Staten Island. Being a Californian, I was like, I don't think so. We ended up moving to Boulder, Colorado.
There you go.
I had family who had told me about it, my cousin Mark Lincoln and my uncle Jimmy. And so I thought, well, being a musician, I could really relate. I have that California free spirit kind of vibe. And I was like, I'll just move there with my wife, and started playing down on Pearl Street in Boulder, and quickly assimilated to the rest of the freaks. They took me right in.
Good.
And I've been here ever since. It's been...
So you haven't been here much longer than me. I moved here in 2000.
Yeah. It's a little over 20 years now. A little over 20 years. And I would never move
That's
anywhere
not possible.
else.
I'm not that old.
Okay.
I know. I'm from Chicago. I would not move
Ah.
anywhere else either.
Yeah. It's nice here.
It is. You get all the climates, but not too much of each one.
Right. In California, you sort of have a couple different climates. You have, the hot weather during the summer,
Right.
rainy, but you really don't get a chance to see seasons. They do have snow up in the mountains, and it is a beautiful state. I'm going out there hopefully in a few weeks, actually, to do some work. And I'm coming up on a 40-year high school reunion myself, so I've actually been invited to play at that in front of people with a bunch of very special people. So
Very cool.
looking forward to that. Yeah, some
Very
exciting things
cool.
ahead.
Okay, so we are going to give Dave a little break and play a little Kate LaRue right now. We will be right back.
It's about time that I got it made. With my guitar just sitting in the shade like a buttercup. Live it up like a queen. It's about time that I'm getting paid. Filling up the piggy, I'm getting jiggy. Now I got enough. I'm taking off, taking off. There she goes. cruising with the top down, top round. This life I wouldn't trade, yeah. There she goes again. I'm strutting in my red gown, 'cause honey, it's about time that I got it made. Money in the bank and I'm getting laid like the county queen. What a scene for me. It's about time that I'm getting paid. Played my guitar for money in the jar. Now I got enough. Take it off, take it off. There she goes again. I'm cruising with the top down, top round. This life I wouldn't trade, yeah. There she goes again. I'm strutting in my red gown, 'cause honey, I got it made. Come on, boys. There she goes again. I'm strutting in my red gown, 'cause honey, ow! Talk is cheap. Go, come on, strut that thing, girl. Okay, bring it in like this, boys. That's it. Mm-hmm. Ha. It's about time that I got it made. Yeah. I got it made. Got my guitar, I'm getting paid. Oh yeah, I got it made. Aha. Woo. Yeah, got it made. Oh, yeah, I got it made.
That was Miss Kate LaRue. Look her up online and see where she's playing next. So, Mr. Dave, you came here from LA in '94.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't really in the music scene here in 2000 when I moved here. It wasn't until about 4 years ago that I started paying attention to the musicians in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the music scene comparison from Denver and LA?
That's a good question. Let me go back a number of years, number of decades actually. When I started playing, back in my high school days, we used to have these house parties that were huge. And the houses, I lived in Beverly Hills, California. So parents would leave for a weekend or a week, and someone would offer their home to some of the better bands in the high school at Beverly. Well, I was in one of those bands, Destiny, as I mentioned, but there were other bands. There was Forrest. There were a couple of great players, Bobby Graham, Dana Barry, Val LaRue, amazing players, Tavi Mote. We all had really, really good bands. So what would happen is, we didn't realize how enterprising it was, but we'd set up these parties at a huge house and invite people. Like in my high school class, we had almost 700 people.
Yeah, me too.
So it was huge, right? Exactly. So the word spread, party at 601 North Bedford Drive, which used to be my old home down there.
Okay, you
And-
Californians, go check that out. Okay, go ahead.
And so the word would spread, and at some of these parties, they would charge $2 or $3 to get in. Not much, just a little bit.
Right.
And they get 2 or 3 kegs of beer. People bring their own stuff. And the money would get split sometimes amongst the bands and the person running the house, owning the house.
Right.
And most of the people that were invited were from Beverly Hills, so they all had the same kind of respect because we all lived in the same types of homes.
Right.
This was like a golden period from, I would say, around 1970 to about 74, 75.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started to get out of control because the word started to spread in other communities around us, like Culver City and Hollywood. And so all of a sudden, these parties that were 400, 500, 600 people turned into 900 or more.
Uh-oh.
And the police started coming.
Of course.
Usually the cops would allow us to play pretty much without bothering us from about 7:30 to about 9:30. And then they'd come and break up the party so it wouldn't disturb other neighbors. And
Right.
by that time, many of the bands had pulled in with $2 or $3, $500, $600, $700. You're playing for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're walking away with $300-400 in your pocket.
Wow.
You're 16 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it used to be like.
And back then, $300 was a lot.
It's a lot of bread. A lot
Right.
of bread, yeah. Our girlfriends were happy.
I bet.
But as things changed, especially in the late 70s, early 80s, we had a different demographic shift. A lot of folks from different parts of the world started to come in, let's just say that. And all of a sudden, you couldn't have these parties.
Oh.
And a lot of the clubs around town realized that they could make some damn good money. And during this period, this is when the hair bands were happening. Poison and Warrant and Armored Saint. And
How many pairs of spandex did you own?
I owned none. I was into the Who. It was jeans and a beat-up pink shirt.
There you
or
go.
Blue shirt or whatever. It wasn't the glam thing. Even though I will tell you, I did have a red velvet suit, burgundy velvet suit.
Really?
Back in 73, 72, yeah. I looked like someone right out of Jethro Tull.
Wow.
But then things changed, and come the 90s and current, it switched in Los Angeles to a pay-to-play system. And so now musicians, if they want to play, they have to cough up a lot of money. $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000.
Serious? That much?
So if you want to play at a nice place like the Whiskey or the Roxy, they're basically places for rent. You are paying to rent the lights, the PA system. You're given the tickets. So you can sell the tickets wherever you want, for whatever you want, but really it's more a matter of showcase. And a lot of the people that play out there nowadays are either kids that have wealthy parents or trust funds, or maybe a record company is actually interested in them. They got a showcase happening. That's a different world. Now, talking about out here in Colorado, bands and musicians get paid. And it's a wonderful environment that nurtures and relishes the musicians out here. You can make as little as $50, $100, up to some really decent money, depending on what kind of group you have and what your focus is.
Right.
But you have to work hard, though. Most of the shows out here are 3 to 4 hour shows, usually from 9 to 1:30.
Right.
You do get breaks, but usually the average pay, for the most part, is about $100 to $250 per member, depending on the type of band. Some bands make a lot more, some bands make less.
Right.
So it's a very different scene out here. It's nothing like LA, thank God.
Yeah. And I've noticed about the Denver musicians, I've only seen a couple bands like this who don't really respect the fact that it's a job. They'll show up late, won't show up, drink too much.
Drink too much, right, yeah. No, you have to really have a lot of pride in what you do. Most of the guys that I grew up with, many of them really respect what they need to do because people want to hear a good show.
Right.
My belief is people work hard all week long.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a ton of money in America anymore.
Right.
So if they do have time and they can get someone to watch the kids or whatever the situation is,
Right.
they want to be entertained. They don't want people up there drunk or playing
Right.
out of tune or sloppy.
Right. And, you know, I've noticed a lot of, well, I would say 99% of Denver musicians, okay, no, that's not true. Maybe 85. They don't even care if they get paid. You can even tell that in their music, in their voice, in their playing. It's from their heart and their soul, and
Yeah.
they just want to do it.
Yeah, the people out here, they're serious as heart attacks. And it's a wonderful environment for musicians and bands because the community of musicians and bands all respect each other for the most part.
Right.
I do a lot of posting on my Facebook page of other bands when they're playing. Blinker Fluid, Dreamboat Annie,
Right.
Goose's band, Rockin' Pharaohs, all sorts of different groups. And it's the only way we can all promote each other because without it, you run into... it's not competitive. You're lucky if you can get people out there. People work hard. So you want to give them a good shot at it. And the people out here, the musicians, they do play from the heart.
They
And
do.
They're damn talented people.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have a question on the chat room. And tell me which song this person is talking about. I'm supposed to ask you about Cody?
Ah, Cody. Good song.
That's not Mystical Star, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Which
you will
one?
hear that later. Cody is a song that will be on the CD.
Oh, Cody's the name of a song.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to play it live for us. Maybe?
I could.
Maybe?
I will play that for you. Yeah, I will do that. Cody was written for a man named Cody St. John 7.5 years ago, April 9th, 2007. I needed a heart transplant, and I have Cody St. John's heart. Okay, so I wrote
and I just
this
got
song.
goosebumps. Okay, hold on. We're going to go to a commercial, and when we come back, instead of Mystical Star, I'm going to let you want to play that one next? Do you want to wait? You want to play that one next? Okay, so we are going to be right back with some awesome music. Rock All Over You. Customized fashion, jewelry, and much more. Get your bling on at Rock All Over You. Check out their link on the left side of the Raven on the Rock website. Now.
Hey, this is Billy Van Kuren from the Santa Fe Band. You're listening to Raven on the Rock. More cowbell.
So if I can do
Okay,
that,
so
we can cue it up.
we have decided Dave actually has Cody in his car. So right now I am going to play Mystical Star while Dave gets that, and I can load it up. And after Mystical Star by Dave Freshman, I will play 2 and 2 by Adrian O.
This is a crazy love we feel. To us new colors are revealed. On the shore between the flames, blurry, surreal, forgetting names. It's all impossible, I knew. All these things that we do, off balance in a fearless kiss. We hope it always feels like this. We break the rules without repent. We worry not where ours went. We hold hands in beds of trust. We live by chance, we live by luck. Our secrets glitter sharp like chrome, and we still take the long way home. And though we fly from yesterday, we know we'll never lose the way. It's all impossible and new. All these things that we do, off balance in a fearless kiss. We hope it always feels like this. But now the rules, they don't apply. Yes, 2 and 2 still make a 5. We don't have to measure time, 'cause 2 and 2 still make a 5. The broken world is ours to gain. We play our music loud as pain. Off balance in a fearless kiss. We hope it always feels like this. We know our era, it may close, but we'll stay pure like midnight snow. We'll always float untouched above. We'll always fall this deep in love. It's all impossible and new. All these things that we do, off balance in a fearless kiss. We hope it always feels like this. But now the rules, they don't apply. Yes, 2 and 2 still make a 5. We don't have to measure time, 'cause 2 and 2 still make a 5. 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 2 and 2 still make a 5.
Well, out there in Colorado, yes, there's a girl I know. She likes to make your guitar really nice for the show. And they look good on your back, these old guitar straps. Baby, babe, Raven Raps.
As always, Raven on the Rock reminds you to please drink responsibly and always designate a sober driver.
Okay, I'm still trying to. I was just telling Dave I had a Kickstarter, and I made my goal. I made my $6,000 goal, and again, I am so grateful for everyone who believes in me. and my special investor out there, you know who you are. I am trying to I'm trying to do the show and open Dave's CD at the same time, and it's taking forever. So I am going to talk to Dave for a minute. So I have another question on the chat room. What motivated you to do this album now?
Well, that's a fantastic question. The name of the CD is going to be called Fresh Life. The reason being, it is a new life for me with a heart transplant. One of the things I've wanted to do all my life is to share the music with people. It's not about the capturing of the market or the money. I mean, that would be a lovely thing, but I leave those expectations to somewhere else. But for me, it's about getting the music out there, because I get a lot of feedback from people who hear it and it touches them. So I decided, you know what? Thank you. So I thought, you know what? I set up a Kickstarter campaign myself.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. And that ran for the month of April. By April 23rd, the goal was $1,500, and the goal was met in 23 days. And then some extra money came in. So I'm in the process of working up the CD. We're now at a point now where we're doing overdubs. I'll be in the studio tomorrow. And then there'll be some vocals and flute and a lot more little magical things going on.
Very cool.
And we're going to get into the mixing and mastering, and ultimately there'll be about 250 to 300 CDs out there. So a number of people have contributed. They'll be getting free CDs. One of the things that I did offer, if they offered $100 or more, is I would write a song for people. There are 3 people that will be receiving songs. I have them all ready to go. One of them is I Missed You, My Friend.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
When is this CD expected to be released?
Well, all things considered, I'm hoping late fall, due to the accident that happened last week with my wife.
I am just. Oh, you told me the story. You
Yeah.
can tell it if you want, but I'm just. Oh wow, I'm just grateful
Well, I won't
that
get
she's
into
okay.
it. Yeah, I won't get into it too much. It was a horrific car accident. Thank God Michelle was driving my car. It was a bigger vehicle, and that car was totaled. So currently I'm fortunate to have a rental car for another 3 weeks.
And you know, Dave, I think this is important. I don't know if you just heard the last little plug that was played about drinking and driving, and it says, as always, Raven wants you to be responsible when you drink and drive. Well, you know, that just does not mean alcohol. Because supposedly this gentleman who crossed over the median was choking on his coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, and it's you're driving a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You really are. So, you know, stay off your cell phones. Don't eat and drive. Don't drink coffee and drive. If you spill that hot coffee in your lap, you know, even just not choking, anything can happen.
Yeah, it's very critical. Thanks for bringing that point up.
Yeah, and luckily Michelle was okay. And was the other driver okay?
Well, the truck hit another person before Michelle. Michelle got, I think, the full bore of the truck, but the other person was taken to the hospital as well, and we don't know her condition.
Oh.
So, you know, there's a lot of things that are impacting the CD, getting back to the initial question at the moment. My goal is to just keep pushing on and doing the best I can. As I say, I have a rental car, so that'll get me out there to do as many things as possible. I'll be out there tomorrow morning.
Where's the studio at?
It's in Arvada. It's at a gentleman's home named Mark Derryberry. The studio is called Derryberry Studios.
Wow.
And it's a lovely, lovely studio, full professional studio. Mark is my age, and he's been doing recording for, I think, 42 years professionally.
Wow.
In fact, last time I was in there, he had Dolly Parton's guitar player there. So, Yeah, he really has his act together, so I think you're going to like it. The CD is using a lot of the old techniques. It's not, one of these hip-hop kind of things. We're doing a lot of the ambient miking the way Jimmy Page did with Led Zeppelin, and church recordings with big ceilings and wood floors, and we're going back to, old school stuff. So it's going to have a real nice feel to it.
Okay, well, I'm still trying to get this my poor computer. I can't wait to get the new one.
You want me to play another song?
Yes, you could do that, but I wanted you to tell me about
Cody?
No, what we were talking about before the show started, and now it just escaped my mind. I wanted to live stream it.
Okay.
The band.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In the church.
Yeah. So let me tell you about this other project I'm putting together. This project is going to be called The Fresh Experience. The reason why I chose that title is it was suggested by a couple of very close friends of mine, Lori and Laura. And really, it's a play on my own name, Freshman. But it's ultimately, this is going to be an opportunity for myself and a number of musicians, sort of like a musical coalition of different singers and musicians, to play and show their alternate sides, doing original music, and also taking some well-chosen covers and completely revising them so that they have a fresh spin on them. The Fresh Experience is going to have its first big show at the UCCH Church in Wash Park somewhere in late November, early December, and I'll be letting Raven know about that so she can get involved. This is going to be probably a two-hour plus show featuring original music by not just myself but other people as well, and it's going to cross the barriers of jazzy, ambient, rocking, dreamy, all sorts of different things. So I hope you guys can come.
I hope so too. So you going to play another song for us live now?
Yeah, this is a song that I wrote actually, I wrote this with my daughter, Stephanie Freshman.
Oh.
And she's going to be on the CD.
How special.
Yeah, she came in this summer and stayed with Mish and I, and she
Where is
sang
she
on
from?
it. She's from, originally she's from Colorado,
Uh-huh.
but she lives with her mother, my ex, in Pinellas Park, Florida.
Ooh.
So it's sort of near St. Pete.
Yeah.
This song is called Sunshine Girl.
Okay, well, here we go.
Woke up this morning, it was another crazy day. Smiled at me and told me it was gonna be okay. The pain I felt that night had gone into the dawn. The fog had lifted, you were right there by my side. Sunshine girl, you came into my world. The rain had left me, leaving me all alone. Sunshine girl, you lifted up my soul. You made me feel complete, honey. You made me feel whole. Was another shaky day. My darkness had returned. I felt inside the pain of my broken heart again. Lord, please help me get a new start. Oh Lord, please help me get a new heart. Sunshine girl, you came into my world. The rain had left me, leaving me all alone. Sunshine girl, you lifted up my soul. You made me feel complete, honey, yeah. You made me feel so whole. I could feel the rain inside. Wondering if I was alive. Feel the rain inside. Wondered if I was alive. You wanted me to come inside. Sunshine girl, you stole my heart. Sunshine girl, you made me feel so whole. Sunshine girl, you lifted up my soul. Sunshine girl, you lifted up my soul. You made me feel so sweet, honey. You made me feel so whole. You're my sunshine girl. You're my sunshine girl. You're my sunshine girl.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Very beautiful. Okay, I got to take my mic out of my stand here because we got another question. It's a long one. You ready for this, Dave?
Okay.
Okay. Do you ever feel what you are doing is work, or do you feel such joy with your creative juices constantly flowing that it never feels like work?
Another excellent question. It never feels like work to me. Never. Yeah, being a musician being a professional musician is work. There's no question about it. You have to drive. You have to make sure you understand the material. I do a lot of work behind the scenes. But it's not work from the standpoint that I love it so dearly. When I'm playing music, it gives me a connection to something else. For me, it's God. Some people call it a higher power. But where I really get my joy, Raven, is when I'm watching other people enjoy what we're doing. I can play music and I can look at people right in the eye and they're dancing and they're singing and they're getting all crazy, sweaty and wet.
You're just smiling like I was.
Yeah, they're having a great time. So no, it's never worked for me in the sense that you're sitting down and doing something for a boss. No, it's a whole different thing. I actually look at it, and I've told Mish this, to me, I was born to be a musician, and this is the path I've been put on. This is God's will, and I'm not going to ever stop.
Oh, awesome answer. But there's more to this. There's more to this little chat post here. It says, by the way, I think you are the cutest man I ever met. Huh. Oh, wait. There's more. It says, glad I married you. Love you so much, Mish.
Oh,
and I wanted to cry when I read that.
Oh, she's my baby. Yeah, I love you, honey.
And Mish, I'm so glad that you're okay over there enough to listen to the show and chat in with us. Your husband is amazing.
Thank you so much, Raven. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so we are having a little issue here with your CD. I put it in the other computer, and it's not showing anything on it. So I don't know if my computers don't like your CD. You played it in your car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I guess after these commercials, you're just going to have to tell us about Cody and play it for us?
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will be right back with Mr. Dave Freshman.
This is Raven with Eggs and Kegs Radio Show here on VRDO, and you're listening to Rockin' Raven.
Supporting local businesses doesn't stop with the economy. It is all about creating a stable and vibrant community. Stimulate our economy by browsing Rely Local's business directory. Saving money doesn't have to cost you, and you no longer have to weed the coupon books that fill your mailbox. Just print them from Rely Local Littleton. Rely Local has combined online job boards and newspapers to provide you with the most local jobs in the Littleton area. Get connected. We want you to be an active partner in our campaign to rebuild the Littleton economy. Rely Local Littleton, your source for supporting local businesses.
Today's Meet a Local Leader is Trends Boutique Incorporated. Trends Boutique Incorporated is owned and operated by moms Nancy Marquez and Jennifer Teal that believe in building strong community relationships. They are proud to partner with businesses within our community that share their passion to give back and represent the high-quality customer service that they pride themselves on. Their looks complete your style from classic, sophisticated, fun to hip, and trendy. They are a high-quality, original, unique apparel boutique. They are an every woman boutique with sizes 0 to 16. Jeans, sweaters, jackets, shirts, hats, tanks, plus stylish accessories perfect to complement every outfit. Clothes you'll live in all season. Cute tops, sexy sandals, fun jewelry, colorful skirts. Gift shopping has never been easier. Go on in. They are there to help you with your fashion and style. They offer gift certificates and gift cards. They also host many fundraisers every year. Sports teams, PTOs, other school organizations, not-for-profits, church groups. Let them know how they can help your organization. Trends Boutique has a new location at 10143 Chatfield Avenue, Suite 13, Ken Carroll Marketplace, which is at the northwest corner of Kipling and Chatfield. Located in Littleton, Colorado, 80128, or call them at 303-997-7701. And we are back with Mr. Dave Freshman. He is going to, do you want to tell us about the song first?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So, many of you who know me personally know this story. In April 9th, 2007, that day I needed a heart transplant. The reason was something that happened 29 years prior to that. I had chemotherapy due to some cancer when I was 20, back in 1976, and it killed the heart when I turned 49. Okay.
Wow. Is that common?
With this drug, the drug was called adriamycin. But back in 1977, they
Nobody
didn't have
knew.
clinical studies on it until 84. So it was the only way to go. Otherwise,
Okay.
I would have been gone at 20 years old.
Wow.
So I don't want to get too much into that, but I was very fortunate and blessed to get a heart. I waited for about 6 to 7 weeks, and my wife, Mish, and so many of my friends, family were right by my side. I ended up getting a heart that day, April 9th, 2007, which happened to be Easter. It took me about 18 months of working diligently through Donor Alliance to try and connect to the donor family. There's a lot of confidentiality in these situations, and many times the donor family does not want to be contacted by the recipient. I know a lot of this because I'm a Donor for Life advocate. So I work for Donor Alliance as a volunteer, and I talk to people who are waiting for heart transplants in the hospitals locally. After 18 months, I got a letter from the mother of the gentleman who passed away. And I read it, and I was like just blown away, and I showed it to Mish. We were just in shock. We were actually stunned. A few weeks after that, we got another letter, and this had a picture of the gentleman. His name was Cody St. John. Cody was 29 years old. He had just been accepted to the University of Wyoming. His fiancée, Katrine Lewis, was already up in Laramie. Both Cody and Katrine had just been accepted into the nursing program at University of Wyoming. April 3rd, I believe, Cody was on his way up Rabbit Ears Pass to get to Laramie. He hit some black ice and slid in front of a logging truck and was killed. They took him off life support April 8th. I received his heart the next day. After I did finally meet his family, and first we met through letters, but finally in December of 2008 at our friend Diane Reichert's home, we met personally. And Mish was there, and I got to meet two of the other recipients. And the news was there, Channel 7 and Channel 9, and we were interviewed by a gentleman named Nelson Garcia.
Right.
And Cody was a wonderful man. He was a Steamboat Springs ski patroller. He was voted the best ski patroller in Colorado in 2007. Lovely guy. Very good-looking cat. In incredible shape. Taken way too young. His website is www.whatwouldcodydo.net. Okay? Whatwouldcodydo.net. If you want to take a look at it, Cody's foundation, the Cody St. John Foundation, raises money, which they've now reached their goal, and they are now giving out, and they have been for the last 4 years, maybe 5 years, I believe, maybe 6 even, scholarships to ski patrollers around the country who want to further their education and become medical professionals. That's what the Cody St. John Foundation is based on, to help people further their education and become medical professionals, which is what Cody wanted to do. I wrote a song for Cody called Cody, and unfortunately we can't play it, but it will be on the CD though. I will tell you that. It's going to be actually probably the very last track, as well as information on this site. But again, whatwouldcodydo.net is the website. I'm going to play it instrumentally for y'all.
I can just imagine what the words of that song are. And can I play it first after you
Of course.
get your CD out? Because I'm going to tell you something. I've always been afraid to be an organ donor. And I think you just changed my mind.
That's so beautiful, honey.
And the reason for that is my mother had a massive brain aneurysm, and she was back in. It was like 5 months after I moved here, and I did not know this until after the fact. But my sister, she got me on the phone, and the doctors wouldn't take her off life support without, me giving my permission. And it was only like a 15-hour trip back to Chicago, but, nobody wanted to wait. So I gave my permission to take my mom off life support. And it wasn't until I got back to Chicago for the funeral that I was told every time my dad walked into the room, her heart rate went up.
Wow. Yeah.
But there was no way they could have done anything for her. The doctor said it was the worst brain aneurysm, he's ever seen. So I'm glad that I did do it. I kind of regret the fact that I didn't wait and go back and say goodbye to her. But there's this whole bobby pin thing. She had an updo with bobby pins, and every time she came over to babysit, my kids would find bobby pins all over the house. Well, just in, the last couple of years, I find bobby pins. So I know my mom's looking over me.
Sure is, honey.
But and now at this time in my life, I do have a friend who has my power of attorney, and I know he wouldn't just pull the plug on me if so I feel better about that. So I'm going to change my driver's license.
Thank you.
I'm going to do that this week.
Thank you. One of the things I do is, I'll give you a little more background. I'm an advocate for life for Donor Alliance. I've been doing this almost 6 years. I speak to people when they ask me who are waiting for hearts, children, men and women, because there's a lot of fear. They don't know.
There is fear.
I have personal experience with a lot of this. So I look at this again as part of the path that I've been assigned by God.
God, yeah.
Mm-hmm. My band Tough Grooves, the members of the band are Lori Marie Muha, who also is Shelvis
Right.
in the band Shelvis and the Roustabouts. I play with them occasionally too. Kelly Sheridan on bass and flute, and Dave Duran on second guitar, and Brad Lenhart plays drums with us many times. We've played 3 times now for the Donor Dash at Wash Park. This last year, which was July 20th, we played for 5,291 people. Okay?
Wow.
This has been 3 years in a row.
When is that? Is that in the summer?
Yeah, it's usually the weekend of July 20th or 21st, somewhere in there.
Okay, I'm going to
It's-
live stream that next year. I'm going to be there.
It's very powerful, and many of the people that are there are transplant recipients and donors, donor families. People come all over the Colorado and Wyoming. Donor Alliance basically works for the states of Wyoming and Colorado, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
That's the agency that handles our region of the country. But it's a very important thing, and I've been very blessed to have my band Tough Grooves play there 3 years in a row. We waive the fee. They offer us good money, and Donor Alliance took a jet up there to get my heart. There's no way I could, in good conscience, charge them. So they give us, very nice Visa cards and stuff like that. But
Well, next year I'm going to live stream it, and we will just have an on-the-air telethon. Right?
fantastic.
Well, and I'm also going to tell you with this Kickstarter thing, one of my investors helped me out because he was paying it forward, and I want to. My original idea, I'm going to pay it forward because I'm involved in music. I am going to have a couple contests. Maybe I'll do it like 3 or 4 times a year. I am going to offer 100 free CDs that will be light scribed in cases for a band to sell. They just got to give me their mixed music, and I will do that for them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it'll only take a couple weeks of my life, but it's worth it. It is so worth it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But now, when I get my Kickstarter money, I am going to also pay it forward and make a donation to Cody.
I'll announce that one more time. It's www.whatwould-Cody-do. That's all one long word. Whatwould-Cody-do.net. N-E-T. And you can read about Cody. You can see myself and Candy, his mother, and Corinne, his sister. And
I'm going to have to do it before I go to bed because I know I'm going to cry. I'm holding back the
very
tears
powerful.
right now.
You know, again, many people are very uncomfortable talking about this because of this issue. It deals with mortality, of course.
Right.
And I, too, was not something... It was not something I was comfortable with, but I didn't have a choice. And it turned my life around. And I'm not going back on the path that, was another path.
Right.
So it's a really important thing, and I've met some amazing people. We call ourselves the Zipper Club because we've all had this open heart kind of stuff.
Right.
The zipper staples.
My dad didn't have a transplant, but he had a triple bypass, and he had a zipper too.
Yeah, so he's part of the Zipper Club.
Right. Yeah. Well, I am just really touched by, what you just told me, and just by you talking to me about Cody and your experience, I've had this like overwhelming feeling come over me that I'm not afraid anymore.
I'm glad. Then I did something really nice.
I'm not saying any of my parts are any good, but
well, you don't know.
If they are.
I'll tell you briefly. The average person, when they pass away, I believe it's up to 8 organs can be salvaged, depending on many conditions and variables,
right.
Of course. And then, of course, you have hundreds of opportunities with tissues, corneas, all this.
Right.
There is a United States database called UNOS, U-N-O-S, that matches people around the country, and it's quite fascinating. So there's a whole story behind all of this, but that's for another day.
And I'm talking about the tissue donation. My brother-in-law, who did pass away, but he was in a really bad car accident. He was T-boned, and he had his hand. You know how you put your elbow on the window and your hands on the roof of the car. Well, when he got T-boned, the whole car tipped over on his hand, and they ended up salvaging, I want to say 4 fingers and part of his thumb, but it looked like he had a claw, and he played the guitar.
Oh.
Yeah, even after that, he messed with it. But I do remember they had to give him cadaver tissue to help heal his hand, and if it wasn't for that, he probably would have lost his arm to his elbow, I'm guessing.
It's very possible.
So there's just so much out there and technology and where we've come. I mean, this wouldn't have happened 50 years ago,
No, actually, the first transplant, I believe, was done in 68 or 69 in South Africa. But again, that's sort of a different topic.
Right.
And you can find it on the internet. But thank you for listening to Cody. I really appreciate that.
I can't wait to play it off of your CD. So we are going to have one more commercial and come back with Dave Freshman's song Kickstart, and then we will talk about that. Okay, Dave?
That's a good one.
We will be right back.
At the Tailgate Tavern and Grill. Enjoy happy hour specials every day, 7 days a week from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Don't forget Wednesday night at the Tailgate Tavern is karaoke. Sign-up starts at 8. Sunday, band auditions are from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And don't forget, Sin Night. Service industry employees get 2 for 1 on wells, drafts, and bottles from 6 p.m. to close on Sunday. A pay stub, name tag, or valid ID is required. The Tailgate Tavern and Grill is located at 19552 East Main Street in Parker, Colorado.
Okay, I'm gonna start kickstart my heart over because Dave and I were talking, so I'm probably gonna have a little dead air there. Sorry, Raven, I love you. Okay, so here is "Kickstart My Heart" by Dave Freshman.
There was a time that I cried for you. With a sad and broken heart, it's true. There's the times when I laugh and love, but time is gone and gone and gone and gone. I know we can work it out, okay. Please meet me around your house, oh, 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 yeah. I'm begging for your love, oh yeah. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are my special one. Talk to know anything, oh yeah. I said I'm sorry and you wish me well. Can you write it in your heart? Oh yeah. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, kickstart my heart. I know we can work it out. Oh yeah. Will you meet me around your house? Oh, oh, oh yeah. I'm begging for your love. Oh yeah. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are my special one. Since I saw you went, I've been thinking about that sweet romance again. I was a fool 'cause you broke my heart and pain. I didn't know you'd break my heart instead. When you meet me at your house, oh yeah. I know you can work it out, oh, oh, oh yeah. I'm begging for your love, oh yeah. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are my special one. Talk to nobody there, oh yeah. I said I'm sorry and you wish me well. Can you write it in your heart? Oh yeah. Oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, kickstart my heart. Oh please, oh please, oh please. Oh please, oh please, oh please, kickstart my heart. Oh please, oh please, oh please. Oh please, oh please, oh please, kickstart my heart.
Live from the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, it's Raven's Eye on Global Talent with your host, Rockin' Raven, keeping her golden eye across the state, across the country, and around the world to bring you the best talent possible. And now, here's your host, Rockin' Raven.
Okay, so tonight's Global Eye is back again in the Chicago, Indiana, Michigan area. I'm going to play another song by M&R Rush. Dave was talking about his band being together 11 years. Well, what do you think about a band, Dave, that's been together for their 41st year?
I love it.
Same guys, plus one.
Wow.
I followed them in high school. They are amazing. Still great friends, like I said. And then they added Jeff. And me and my girlfriend, Patty DeBarbara, if you're out there listening, hey. And even one year at one of my parties that I had, we made cardboard cutouts of John and Marty. Yeah, those were our crushes in high school. But we followed them around to schools, and they started out as a cover band.
Yeah.
Now they're all originals. Well, they play covers at their shows too, but they have 3-4 CDs of originals. And
I love it.
so I hope you love them too. Here is M&R Rush with Hotter Than Hell.
She's hotter than hell.
Today is Wednesday, August 20th, 2014, and today's Tony Delk's House Husband Tips of the Day are, well, the first one is, the words, let's wash the bed sheets, can translate to, your side of the bed stinks. House Husband Tip number 2, remember how strong you are when manhandling the vacuum around. Oh, and duct tape will fix that broken hose. House Husband Tip number 3 today. A kitchen trash bag can only handle so much. Never overstuff one unless you have some time to correct your error. So all you house husbands out there, take note. Okay, I totally messed that up. I put in the wrong one. I already played that one. Okay, so if we have time left, I'll do it again. But now we are going to play Twilight Lovers. Tell me about this, Mr. Freshman.
Okay, Twilight Lovers is actually just 2 people. This is myself on bass guitar and multiple guitars. And
you mean 2 people playing it?
Mm-hmm.
Not
and the other gentleman
2 Twilight Lovers.
No, 2 Twilight Lovers. I'll get to that in 1 second.
Okay.
And the drummer is my very good friend Brad Lenhart, who plays with many bands. He's an amazing drummer, super cool cat. So we went into the studio, and we had sort of rehearsed it a couple times at Brad's house. And I said, Brad, this is a song where I just want to take off the kid gloves and rock. One of my big influences are The Who and Pete Townsend. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put another rock song on the CD. And I really couldn't get any kind of lyrics to come to mind. So Twilight Lovers really sort of came to me in a dream. I don't know where the lyrics came, but the title came. So I only got part of it. And so this is a rock song with a very, very strong Who influence. And we took our kid gloves off and just rocked.
Okay, well, I can't wait. Here is Twilight Lovers by Dave Freshman. Wow, that was just Dave and Brad the drummer. You kicked some drummer butt there. and Dave had his little heartbeat at the end there. That was very cool. Very cool. Okay, so I found today's house husband tip of the day, and when we come back, Dave Freshman is going to play live. Tell me again before so I don't mess it up.
This is a song called Delta Muskrat Blues. For you guys and gals out there like Zeppelin, I think you'll like this one.
Okay, we will be right back. And it's time for today's Tony Delk's House Husband Tip of the Day. We have 3 of them for you. 1, a remote-controlled car with a duster attached to it makes for some really fun hardwood floor cleaning. 2, taking a moment out to watch a little Tom and Jerry is perfectly acceptable. Getting nothing done all day because you happen to find the Tom and Jerry marathon is awesome. And 3, the broiler makes awesome garlic toast. 1 millisecond later, it makes charcoal. Always keep a close eye. And those were today's Tony Delk's House Husband Tips of the Day.
This is Tabor from Ghost of Ivy. You're listening to Raven on the Rock.
Okay, we are back, and Delta Muskrat Love.
Blues.
I'm not that old. I don't remember that song. Okay, so you almost ready?
Mm-hmm.
He says we're going to get a little taste of like a Led Zeppelin tune here. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's sort of Zeppelin-ish. Actually, a little bit of a gentleman named Roy Harper, British folk genius. But yeah, I wrote this song 33 years ago.
Wow.
It's never played the same twice.
Okay, here's Dave Freshman live with Delta Muskrat Blues. Wow. And this is where I wish I already had my new equipment, because if I had a video camera in here right now, I mean, that sounded awesome, but you guys would appreciate it so much if you were sitting here watching him do that. That was amazing.
Thank you.
And fun. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, again, I was very influenced by guys like Jimmy Page and Roy Harper and Richard Thompson of Fairport Convention and Wishbone Ash and a lot of those, you know, British kind of guys.
Right.
So I worked really hard over the years to learn those styles and play. And, you know, Mr. Page was one of my huge influences. So, yeah, the Apple is where I took it from.
Good. Very
Delta
good.
Muskrat Blues.
And you did very well with that apple.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we sign off tonight, we got 4 minutes to talk about a couple things. I wanted to clarify. What would Cody do? .net. Is Cody with a C?
Yes, it's CODY.
And there is no question mark after Cody?
No,
Okay.
no. It would just be www.whatwould, which would be WOULD, whatwould.CodyDo.net.
Okay. And as soon as my Kickstarter comes through, I am going to donate to that.
Thank you so much.
And pay it forward. I also am going to change my driver's license.
That's very special. Thank you, honey.
And just because the gentleman that has my power of attorney, I trust him too. And it's just hearing you talk. So many people could just help so many people.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, it really comes down to in 2014, it's all based on community giving. You know, I won't get into any other types of discussions, but it really comes down to us being omnipotent and carrying it forward and doing what's right in life. That's really what it comes down to.
Right, and I don't know a good way to explain how I'm feeling it without getting too graphic, and I'll tell you how I'm feeling later after the show. But you know, what you could do after you're gone to help someone else, it's just an amazing gift. Yeah. So, and then next July, I'm going to plan on this, and don't you forget about me. Who flew your heart in one more time?
Donor Alliance.
Donor Alliance. Okay, so Donor Alliance next July, Wash Park. I will be live streaming it.
It's called the Donor Dash.
The Donor Dash, I will be live streaming it. And we will have a telethon, and we will do donations all across the country online.
Oh, they would be so appreciative. Yeah, it helps a lot of people. There's a lot of people waiting for organs and tissues, and the supply doesn't even come close to covering the demand.
I'm sure. But we're going to fix that, right?
Beautiful. Yeah, that's what we do. We carry the message.
Yeah, we just got to, you said it so well, but you just got to, it takes that one person with the right line to hit home.
Yeah.
You hit home with me today, so.
Oh, thank you, Raven. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And hopefully I'm sure you've hit home to a lot of others too, and, you know. Okay, folks, so where are you going to be next, Dave? Where can we come see you?
The next show is going to be September 13th at the 20 Mile Tap House with my cousin, Mark Lincoln. We have a group called Luxa, spelled Luxa, and it's alternative kind of stuff like Radiohead, U2, Foo Fighters, totally different stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. Very cool stuff, and some original material there. Tough Grooves will be at West Hill Grill November 15th.
Ooh, that's right down the street.
Yeah,
November 15th?
November 15th.
I will be there.
And there'll be other gigs coming up. I'll post them on Facebook. It looks like I got some more work coming in down in Colorado Springs at the Sunbird Mountain Tavern and Grill with both Luxa and Tough Grooves. So, yeah, please stay tuned. There'll be a
Cool,
lot
and
of
you
work.
know, I should have my new equipment by then, so, and I know Tony and West Hill Grill have awesome internet because I did a New Year's Eve show there. So maybe I'll come live stream your November 15th show and try out my new stuff.
Oh, my God, that'd be awesome. Yeah, Brad's going to be with us on drums. Lori is going to be out front.
Awesome.
She has her Shelvis persona, and if you haven't seen that show, it's amazing. But we will be doing a good chunk of Shelvis and the Roustabouts with Tough Grooves because a lot of the bands sort of blend over between the both. Yeah, you know, we sleep in the same beds. No, not really.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dave Freshman, for coming in and spending the evening with me and sharing your heart, literally.
Thank you.
And all you people out there, don't forget, only you can make your dreams come true. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back. Raven on the Rock is brought to you by Rockin' Raven Productions and the Scoop 303. I'd like to give a shout out to our musical credits for our intro, The World Famous Johnsons, our exit, Garco, and our Raven Raps commercial by Michael Hornbuckle. I'd like to thank Rely Local Littleton for sponsoring us, and you can check out all our advertisers on the left side of our website, ravenontherock.com. I'd also like to thank all the amazing musicians in Denver and around the world for sharing their music with us.